Hi guys, it's me again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So happy to be doing this with you once again, and please stay to the end and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and stay and be a family. Okay, join us and be a family and share with your friends. I just want us to reach a level, and I know I've already created my small family, which is becoming bigger by day. So let's get to the business of the day. Today, I'm going to talk about the most important questions that you need to ask on a first date. Don't get me wrong. I know there are very many questions that you have to ask on a first date. But today, I'm just going to give you 5 most important questions that I feel you should ask on a first date. And I repeat this, there are very many questions you can ask on a first date, but I'm gonna give you the top tier questions that you can ask on a first date. Just 5. Don't tire your date. Just 5 most important questions you have to ask on a first date. So I'll get into it right away. So 1, never forget to ask the name of the date you're having. I'm saying this because most times you'll find people go on a date and they even do not know the name of the person they went on a date with. They have forgotten, or they didn't even ask, not even forgetting. They didn't ask for a name. So you get them saying, okay, I went on a date with a very beautiful girl, or I went on a date with a very, sharp guy, but I have forgotten the name. I can't even, I didn't even remember to, not even forgetting, I keep on saying that word. I didn't ask about her name or his name, so I don't even know how to refer to him when I'm calling back, okay? So don't forget to ask a name. Don't forget to ask a name, okay? And for it to be even much better, just ask for full name. They can give you either 2 or 3 names, whichever, but it's good to ask and know the name of the person you are on a date with. It's just common knowledge, yeah? So you have to ask for a name. Then the next thing is family background. Family background. You know, when we talk about family background, you are on a date with someone, ask them, who are your sisters, what are your who are your parents, what are their names, and so on and so forth. Because sometimes you ignore to ask about family background, you get yourself in a a situation you wouldn't wish to. For example, you might get that actually you're on a date with a relative or a family member or a distant family member whom you never know or you never knew. Okay, so we are this generation. I'll say we rarely meet all our relatives, at a sitting or maybe at an organized celebration just to know each other. You know, the way Africans do it, like you meet all your relatives and know all your relatives and such stuff. But nowadays, you might even find yourself not knowing all your immediate cousins. Maybe you just know the few who are closer to you. So sometimes it's good to ask about family background so that you don't get yourself messed up and you get yourself in the line of you being involved with a family member. Could be a distant cousin, could be, you know, what, and just stuff like that. So just to not to get yourself being involved with a family member, get to know the family background. And sometimes it's also for security purposes. You could be dealing with the most dangerous person, in your country. So it's just good you ask and know family background to know if you're safe. Your security comes first. You could be dealing with someone that is wanted and you're not aware of that, or you could be dealing with a family that is having these issues to do with them being watched by the government because of their moves, So it's good to ask about family background just to know, where you can stand or if you're safe. Actually, asking about family background is all about your security, not even anything else. Just to know, am I, going into something that I'll regret, or am I going into something that I feel like my safety is, intact? And then, where did they grow up? Please ask such questions. Where did you grow up? So that you know how to handle them. Some people have grown in ghetto, some people have grown in middle class, some others have grown in rich families. Get to know where people grew up, because where someone grew up really shapes how they behave out here. Okay? Where someone grew up actually gets to shape how they behave, how they talk, how they perceive things, how, they handle things, how they look at themselves, how they look at others, how they solve their own issues. So get to know where someone grew up so that you can be able to know how to deal with them, as you go on. Because if you people come from different background sets, okay, and you've never, in that first date, you didn't know, maybe he or she came from a certain set of, a certain set of environment. Sometimes it will be very hard to understand them and even to deal with them. So it's good on a first date to ask where someone grew up. Just get to know that. It will help you. It's like, how do I call it? It's like one of those secrets, or one of those things that will help you really know how to go forward concerning how to deal with the specific person you're on a date with. And this is something that you always have to remember when you're on a first date. So the next thing you have to remember when you're on your first date is, please ask him or her about his or her friends. Ask about friends. Who are your friends? What do you do together? How long have you known each other? It will give you the nitty-gritty things you need to know about this person. They might tell you things to do with, I actually don't have friends. You can know that maybe they're not people who are who can easily socialize. Ask the reasons as to why they don't have friends. Maybe there's a story behind. Some of them will tell you they have so many friends. When you ask what they do, you can gauge what kind of a person they are, So just ask about their friends, what they do together, how long they have been together. It will help you know a lot of things. These are the things that will help you know about someone without them telling you who they are. I don't know if you get it. Like, you're just asking questions and they're answering, but they're giving you all the information that you need. So once you have it, you can decide whether you're going on a second date. So it's important, just get to know their friends, because we know people through actually how, okay, let me put this right. You know someone through their friends. So if you really want to know someone, just check out their friends and you'll know what kind of a person they are. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So ask about friends. Ask about friends. Lastly, what are they looking for? They have called you in. On a date. They have called you on a date. So ask them. Ask them. Ask them what they're looking forward to, or what that they're looking for in this date they're looking. They've invited you in. What are their intentions of inviting you on a date? Is it just friendship? Is it you starting a relationship? Is it just you having a situationship? Get to know, so that as you go ahead, you're not gonna fight or have issues, or be stressed about, or just not being sure where you are or your position in this person's life. So learn to ask. Just learn to ask what they're looking for now that they have invited you for a date. Okay? Of course, you cannot just invite someone for a date and you don't have a reason behind it. You cannot just tell someone, okay, I'm just inviting you for a date because I can invite you for a date. There must be a tangible reason. I'm inviting you for a date simply because I want us to seal our friendship well. I'm inviting you for a date simply because we are benefiting from each other on whichever grounds, I'm inviting you on this date because I want to know you better, because I want to establish a relationship with you, So ask what they are looking for. Just ask early enough so that you can be able to know your next step. If you're comfortable with situationship, go on with it. If you're comfortable with friendship, you will go on with it. And if you're comfortable with it getting into a relationship, you can also, you know, get the answers right there and then. So basically, those are the five most important questions that you got to ask on a first date, so that it gears you onto how you're going to handle the relationship henceforth. Okay, so guys, that marks the end of us having this conversation, of me telling you, or rather giving you tips. Those are tips. Those are tips. I'm giving you tips. Just 5 tips you need to have or equip yourself with when you're on a first date. And those tips are questions that you must ask on a first date. So next time you go on a date, don't look like you're just there to eat and go home. No, you don't go for a date just to eat and go home. We go on a date to actually learn people, and I'll call it to vet people and know if we can be in or out. So when you go for a date, it's not about eating, it's not about just having fun. Get to know this person and get the most out of them without tiring them with so many questions or things. Okay, so that you can now ask yourself if it's okay, or rather to sit yourself down and ask yourself if you can still go on a second date or not, or if this is just it. Because sometimes they might tell you a lot and you're like, okay, this is just not for me, this is just not my thing, and you let them go. Okay, because why? You ask the 5 most important questions on a first date. So that's the end, and with that, I wish you a very good day, a very good night, a very good morning, whichever place you are in this world. Have it in the very best moment, as I usually say. So that's a bye till next time. Bye bye, and please subscribe, and thank you so much for listening to me. Bye.